Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation, and today's topic I like. It's, do you think having a baby changes marriage? And the reason why I like it is because it gives me the ability to explain more about marriage, which is so important because we have so much bad information out there about what marriage is. We never learned how to be married. We learn, if you want to call it that, about marriage from movies, from television sitcoms, not from our parents, not from our friends, certainly not from any courses we took in school, because there aren't any. And I'm not blaming anybody. Marriage is a very sophisticated, beautiful thing that no one knows anything about. I used to be a divorce mediator. Over 20 years ago, I was helping people get a divorce. And I realized back then, there's something wrong here. You know how you see a couple and you go, they just belong with each other. You could tell. And I was helping those people get a divorce. And they would come to me and go, this or that for why we're getting a divorce. And finally one couple came to me, young couple kids, and they broke down crying. They said, we don't know what else to do. Would you help us? And from that, I shifted my practice entirely. I decided, okay, I'm going to help people stay together. And I called my friends because those were the ones who sent me their clients where they failed, and I tried to find out more about marriage, and I realized they didn't know. Marriage counselors don't know about marriage. So I started doing some digging, and I approached it in a very practical way. And this is going to be a very good thing for you to pay attention to if you didn't have a child yet and you're thinking about it. I said, why? Do you ask why you want to have children? Most people get married without asking why. I asked hundreds of people. I would go to Starbucks and be in line, and I'd say to somebody, I could see the ring, I'd say, why did you get married? And this is how I did my research. You could call it Starbucks research, but it didn't stop there. I asked people where I go to church. I asked people that I worked out with at the gym. I asked everybody, why did you get married? And most people said, I got married because I fell in love with so-and-so. Or I realized this is the person. And no. Why did you want to get married in the first place? Not one person ever gave me an answer that I could really wrap my arms around. And finally, I just started meditating on this, and it came to me. And then I started asking people, is this why you got married? And everyone said, well, yeah. It's that obvious. We all get married to be happy or happier. Every single person. And then I thought, you know what? It's not enough. There's got to be something deeper. I like finding the deeper parts, you might say. And the deeper part is you want to feel love. I realized, I know that I'm a soul. We're all souls. We don't have a soul. We're souls. And what is it that souls have to have? Well, a soul is complete. It's a part of God. But I realize as human beings, we're not connected to ourselves as souls. And so we're constantly looking for that soul quality that we have to have. And that's love. So we get married, and then I was on my way. I started asking people and testing this. And this is just universally true, even though no one articulates it. We get married in order to be happy and in order to feel and experience not just any kind of love, but unconditional love. That's why we get married. So why have a baby? Having a baby is one of the most generous things you'll ever do. Having a baby is a complete immersion in service. In service to someone you've never met before, in this life anyway. And you're there for them, even before they're born. Especially if you're the wife. You're there for them 100%. They're part of you when you're the wife. For 9 months, you don't even know who they are, and you're in total service to them. Your body will remove things that you need to give to them. That's how much service you are to them. It's a beautiful thing to have a baby. A lot of people go, well, it's really fulfilling to have a family, blah, blah, blah. Somewhat, but it's mostly work. It's mostly work. Yes, it's great to see your children grow up, behaving well, getting good grades in school, doing things with them, but it doesn't come close. If you're going to measure or weigh how much you give compared to how much you get, there is no comparison. So, the question is, do you think having a baby changes marriage? Maybe. If your marriage is not based in love and happiness, if you don't know how to operate your marriage correctly, if you are not instructed about how to open your heart, how to manage, how to overcome your emotions, your fears, your angers, if you don't know how to master your mind, then your marriage is on wobbly ground anyway. And it'll become more wobbly if you don't learn how. It's important to know how to be married. When you know how to be married, and you invite this soul into your family, that soul is the recipient of more than just food and water and shelter and education and so forth. They're the recipient of an environment that is uplifting and positive, and it sets the stage for their lives. Whether they'll be grateful or not doesn't even matter. You will have served, and it's beautiful. And when you know how to run your marriage, your children won't overwhelm you, because you will have each other in a marriage that is filled with harmony, love, and happiness. So there's the sort of binary choice. If you know how to be married, and don't take this lightly. I've got books and I've got courses if your marriage is in trouble, but you need to learn how to be married. You don't know how to be married. You don't, because we don't have any education. The common knowledge out there is nonsense. Just take a look at the topic of sex, speaking of getting pregnant and having marriage. We learn from Hollywood that sex is recreation. Sex is for pleasure and enjoyment. But sex, when you're married, is much more than that. Its purpose and then is to express your love and your loyalty and to build a bridge of connectivity through your physical form from soul to soul. That's the purpose of sex. It's not to go, wow, that was good for me. How was it for you? That's a small, small part of it when you know what you're doing. They don't know. They don't know. It's not their fault. The Marriage Foundation is cutting edge It's cutting edge, because I've made these discoveries without building it on the quicksand of so-called knowledge of Western psychology. I approached it from a different point of view, a realistic point of view, that made these two goals promises. These are the promises of marriage: love and happiness. If that's happening in your marriage and you bring in a child, they are part of your family, but they are not part of your marriage. But if you don't know how, you don't know which way is up, quite frankly. So it's very important, very important. So those are the two answers. If you don't know how to be married, you won't have the best for or with your child and children. But when you know how to be married, everyone benefits tremendously, and you receive the greatest benefits of your life. Do children add to your marriage? Sure. But it's not this huge thing like people make it out to be. Well, sometimes it is. But it's not the main part of your marriage. Gosh, I hope this was helpful for you. You know, take a look at our website, watch our other videos, subscribe to this channel so you really learn how to be married. That's your first mission. Know how to be married. And get one of my books. You're obviously not in a place where you need one of the courses, which is for marriages that are having trouble. And I hope you spend time with me again. Like this video, leave a comment, and thank you for visiting. God bless you, and take care.